idea what
Go
you're
ahead and
talking
enlist,
about.
baby girl. Go do your thing. But leave America out of it.
So this Anna Kasparin, whatever her name is, she's a twit. She, besides being a twit, she's an example of the fake MAGA. Not that she's not MAGA, but the way everything she says sounds just like Candace Owens, right? Because Candace Owens has always been fake MAGA. We have that faction of the MAGA group that has never been MAGA. We're not neocons either. We don't want endless war, but we understand the reason why we stand by Israel, okay? The argument the fake Christians and fake MAGA like Candace Owens like to make, and others, is that, well, it wasn't God's will for Israel to be there. Well, it wouldn't still be there if it wasn't God's will. Do you understand me? You have to understand. You need to understand the Old Testament. Okay? Because you could say that about everything in the Old Testament, but it was God's will. Israel would not still be there if it wasn't God's will. Hear me? Hear me? Yes, and so their argument is, well, no, men created Israel. Yes, we did, because of Israel, because of the Bible. Because of the Bible. Because these people had no place to go. Everywhere the Jews have gone, they are kicked out, and then the fake MAGA and a bunch of anti-Semites make excuses about, well, this because nobody likes the Jews. No, it's you guys that don't like the Jews. You serve Satan. Okay? You don't like the Jews. You want to say they're fake Jews. You want to say it as if you would know anything. Okay? And there's a faction of them that called themselves MAGA, but they've been exposed. Candace Owens being number one. Is anybody even following her anymore that isn't a liberal? I don't think so. MAGA is not for endless war, but this war this has gone on for a long time. Okay? After 9/11, and this was before Israel had their Iron Dome, it was daily if you paid attention. I mean, our news didn't cover it daily, but if you watched international news, which I did, because after 9/11 I was trying to understand all different sides of everything. And again, I would even watch Al Jazeera, and because they would put it in they would translate the captions. They are attacked every day with missiles, every single day. Okay, it's not just like, oh, it's once a year, once a month. No, it's daily. Daily. Even most of the Arab nations around this are sick of it. They're exhausted with all of this bullshit. Okay? But most of this nonsense, I was shocked actually to see in the middle of the night, somebody said Hezbollah is not getting involved. I was like, whoa. So see, even they are like, we're not getting involved. Hezbollah is a terrorist organization, government, however you want to look at it, in Lebanon, okay? And Israel's gone to war with them many times at the border of Lebanon. And so, and Hezbollah is still in place. So I was shocked to see that. They're just like, yeah, we're not getting involved. So people are getting tired of it, is what I'm saying. I mean, people are getting tired of, we're just going to hate the Jews, okay? And my point is that the same things this twit is saying is the same thing that the fake MAGA says. And like the redacted channel, I'm just waiting to see the spin they put on this. How dare Trump allow this? How dare all these people? They just want Israel annihilated. Nobody with a conscience should want that. And Iran has been nothing but they're people. The people in Iran, those are people unlike us going into Iraq, and we're not going to go into Iran. This idea that it's going to go into ground truth, there's no need for that. The missile response alone will be plenty. Okay? And then, but the people of Iran, they do want to be liberated. They do. So it's a delicate kind of thing there. But interestingly enough, when Israel struck them, because they're using we give them the weapons, They were able to strike like the exact location. That's how good the weaponry is, to where it can hit the location of where they're building, but not hurt the apartment buildings on either side, not hurt hardly any civilians. Like I think there's been one civilian, like innocent civilian, that maybe died. Otherwise, it's been so targeted. It took out like, who Israel took out was their entire like military top people. Like, that needs to happen. Iran has been given 60 days to come to a peace deal. How hard is it for them to say we won't build a new? They've been hearing this for decades. They know they want the weapon, and they had enriched uranium up to 60%. Like, so that's a no-go. Like, you have to do something then. Nobody wanted it to come to this. I think Israel probably did, because I think Israel gets sick of this. I mean, because this is always what they're doing. Everything that goes on in the Middle East, where they get support, whether it's Hamas, Hezbollah, all of it, it's from Iran. It's all Iran. So it has to be dealt with at some point. So everybody that's saying that Israel, it's not in the Bible. No, the very fact that it still stands, it means it's God's will. And we America stands by Israel because that is the promise that we made because of the Bible. The fake Christians and of course the Democrats, because they're not really Christian. So of course they hate them. But even many of the Democrats stand by Israel, because at least some of them can understand that, this is not right. We gave these people a little bit of land. The fact that Iran is so selfish, and I don't mean the people, but their government is so selfish, and they act like they're standing on the side of God. It's like, no, you stand with Satan and you know it. But their people very much would like have democracy. I'm not saying we're going to go into a ground war and any of that. But the difference with them from Iraq is the people didn't know anything about democracy. And so when we went in there, all of that was just a mess. And so when people keep falling back to the Iraq war with Bush, it's like, first of all, Bush was a total tool. Okay, he was part of what the problem was. He wanted an endless war. That's why he said, when he talked about the war on terror, I remember he said it will be without borders, and it will be we have no idea the length of it that it will go on, okay? Because that's what he wanted. He was a neocon, like your Bill Kristol, like a bunch of your, military industrial complex people. But this doesn't need to be some endless thing. This is precision targeting, taking out their biggest people, and even Trump said today, 2 months ago, I gave Iran a 60-day ultimatum to make a deal. They should have done it. Today is day 61. I told them what to do, but they just couldn't get there. Now they have perhaps a second chance. So he's not even saying that there's not a chance to still come to the table. Okay, but this cannot go on forever. This is ridiculous. Okay, the fact is, too, they were caught really off guard because they thought that Netanyahu was going on vacation this weekend, that he had a son's wedding coming up, all that was put out there, and then all of a sudden they were struck. People are saying, well, that was deceptive. It is what it is. Maybe they just went a different course. Whatever. Our media, of course, is going to make it look like Israel and America are horrible people. No, Iran has been a terrorist outlet from the beginning. If the fake Maga faction, and that's what I will continue to call the fake Maga, wants to carry on and act like they support Trump, it's like, please go sit down. I am not for war, but these people, if you listen to them long enough, they hate Israel. They hate Jewish people. That's what they hate. Because something comes over them. It's why the anti-Semitism thing, it's like it gets ugly in people. Look at the ugly soul of Candace Owens. Look at the ugly soul of this Anna, whatever her name is. There's this ugliness in them. And they want to protect terrorist organizations, which is why they march with terrorist organizations like Hamas and then carry on with all this propaganda about the Palestinians, okay? So It's time for this to have to be put an end to all of this mess.